scooter. It's awesome. Anyway, thanks for joining us for another episode of Shenanigans with Becky and Brent. Woohoo!
We're here on this sunny day, Deanna. We got your kind of weather.
Yeah, it's beautiful out there.
Good morning, Carolyn.
And so, yeah. Anyhow, should we just get right into it? Because we're going to try and get a lot into that today.
Well, my idea is to keep stepping it up. But
look at that, and Eddie already told us we're going into Shop News.
Shop News! Oh, is that a new graphic, Edward?
I think
we've had it. I don't think you did.
Oh. Well.
Anyway, so Shop News. Check out our website. We have a new link on there for a Kimberbell affiliate for the Bella Box.
Good for you.
Because a lot of the Bella Box is the thing you can order from Kimberbell, and it's really fun. A lot of people love it, but it's a direct order thing. But what Kimberbell has done, and I think they've changed it to something else.
Me time.
What they've done for
machine embroidery time. Me time. Not to be confused with the Me Too movement.
Yes, which came to an end with Amber Heard. But whole other side. But anyway, if you check that out, if you check out that affiliate, if you are buying the Bella Box, if you use our affiliate link, we get a little bit of a kickback from that.
We do. Any of the subscriptions.
Yeah, any of the
That affiliate isn't just good for Bella Box. They are going to come out with monthly subscription boxes. And you can only buy them direct from Kimberbell. So to soften the blow to the dealers, because, hey, dealers are why they're as big as they are today, they have said, look, if somebody comes into your website, uses the affiliate link, we're going to give the dealer a little bit of commission for that person buying that subscription.
And I am the type of dealer that loves this because now I don't have to order all the Kimberbell stuff and hope enough people buy it every month.
Well, we still have to order all the other stuff.
Oh, yeah, the other stuff. But I'm talking like the monthly projects.
The Bella Box, the new
monthly
materials,
project, yeah. But I would rather stock batting and that sort of thing than trying to stock enough kits of whatever the latest and greatest is because it's always hit or miss.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you're into the Kimberbell subscription box stuff, check out our website and just hit our little link and give us a little...
And we have an affiliate link for the quilting designs as well. And don't get confused, they're not the same.
Yes.
Can you believe it? So if you're ordering a Kimberbell quilting design, go through Four Pines website and we get a little something from that too.
So that, there's that. The other thing is, like I said, we do have some classes coming up in July. We don't have a lot on the calendar for June because I'm not going to be here.
That's funny. I feel very busy all of June.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, I'm talking up the Intro to Machine Embroidery is going to be July 9th. He's talking about
himself, as usual. He's only talking about himself.
Well, those are the things that I have on the calendar for sure. And then the Luminaires Owner Club on the 23rd. Those just a couple big things coming up that, if you're interested, sign up for them now because, like I said, the Intro to Machine Quilting filled up really quick all of a sudden.
That's so much fun.
Yeah, it was a fun class. And the Luminaire Owners Club is going to be fun, too.
And with the Intro to Embroidery, they come in and there's embroidery machines for them.
Yes, the idea behind Intro to Embroidery is
you come in... You didn't sell them all from the last class.
And no,
you sold some of them.
Well, part of the reason too that it's so late in July is that we can restock a few if we need to. So if you are interested in that, for sure, sign up sooner than later.
It's
so we don't have any machines.
A great fun class. I was thinking of that class when I was going through Juju Designs. I don't know if y'all you know we love a Juju Design.
Yes.
She came out with a new set of mug rugs.
Yeah, see, something like that might end up in the
Happy
class.
Camper was one of them. I know a lot of you love camping, and it was so cute. And the other one was a sewing machine, and I like those silly little trays. I put everything in. Yeah. I got to have the sewing machine one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
that's so stuff like that. I don't know what we're doing for a pattern yet for Intro Machine Embroidery, but the idea is you just show up and it's all here.
Yeah.
And then Luminaires Club, we're still working the details out on that, but that's going to be on the 23rd
of July.
Of July, yeah. And then, the other thing that came in is new fabric.
We love
this
new
just
fabric.
Came in this morning. I don't even know who from.
Oh,
It's just a. It's just a extra.
Is that a back?
Yeah, it's just a back that came in. I think I ordered with some other stuff, and this showed up and nothing else.
I always have to feel them. Yep.
It's a real pretty print.
That is a pretty back.
The other thing that came in last week, of course, Eddie hasn't brought back his quilt that he made with it yet, which came out awesome. But
Ed.
Well, he's trying to get the binding on. But here is a
surprise.
It's like a Day of the Dead type. It's my kind of fabric.
That's actually pretty cool.
You should see the quilt Eddie made with it. Hopefully, we'll have the quilt next week so people can see how awesome it is.
And then everybody's going to want to make it. So you have a material list with your quilt, Ed, and a pattern read up.
The best part about Eddie's quilt is it looks like kind of the piecework on it's kind of wonky, but it really adds to it because of the art of the quilt.
So he will have patents and material
I don't know if
lists available.
But
For
here,
Day of the Dead by Edward.
this fabric, I just got an email that this fabric is going to be shipping probably this week. So we should have this by the end of next
Star
week.
Wars?
No, this is a genius sci-fi quilt. That we will have kits available.
Let me go over here so you have more.
We will have kits available for this quilt probably by the end of next week.
Wow.
It's a really gorgeous quilt from in the beginning. It is not Star Wars. It is not Star Trek. It's a science fiction. They did a fantastic job. If you have a sci-fi person in your life, they will love it because it's close enough to like Firefly, Star Wars, and Star Trek that it's just awesome.
And I
the
love
art,
the border on it.
and I don't know if
too.
the color is really coming through on it, but the color is
It's
nice and
vibrant.
bright. It's
Vibrant.
a beautiful quilt.
It is.
But yes, the fabric.
Male or female. That
Yeah,
is a
this
great
fabric
quilt.
will be coming in. Like I said, I just got the email. It says it's at the warehouse, so it should be shipping this week. So we should have by the end of next week with a little bit of luck.
Great.
So
Is that in your sign-up book?
yes.
I wanted to show off that sign-up book.
Well, I don't know if this one's in the sign up
Can
book.
I show off the sign-up book?
If you want to get the sign up book, sure.
Because I'm very impressed with you.
Well, I've been trying, you know.
I'm amazed. They always say, no, you can't teach Brent nothing.
Oh, and then the other thing is that I just want to cover in shop news because there's been a lot of interest in this, is we have a block of the month that we started back in February.
Yes.
And so we're now getting into May, so we're getting close to like block 4 or 5.
But you can catch
But
up.
the way that we have organized this is, this is just the first 4 blocks. The way we have this organized is you can come in at any point and catch up without a problem.
Yes.
We're using grunge, so it's not like we're going to be missing. You want to do a zoom out, Eddie, so we get the whole.
Isn't that pretty?
So we're doing it in grunge. So
now,
it's
is that the quilt that Danny helped colorize?
yes.
Yeah, good job.
And because
Danny.
it's
Thank you.
grunge, it's not like we're ever going to run out of the fabric for it. So if you want to come in and jump in a little late, the first couple months, double up so you can get caught up.
And
But
you learn a lot.
yeah, it's a real kind of a basic piecing. It's not like a super complicated, but they're really fun. It's $19.95 a month.
Well, it's not that basic. I saw it have
Oh
square
yeah.
triangles.
Oh yeah. No. When
and
I say
nine
basic,
patches.
it's not like it's paper piecing or anything fancy. It's just kind of regular old piece quilting, and it's a very. I just wanted to show that off because we've had a lot of interest
It's
in that.
traditional.
Because we just got the
Look,
setting
he's
blocks
sitting
on
down
there.
and I'm standing up.
Well, to be fair, it's a tall stool. But so that's what we have. Oh, and the only other thing I have after, I just want to show off the fabric and that. But the block of the month, like I said, $19.95 a month. Still plenty of time to get in on that if you're interested. We have a dream machine that just
No way.
yes, it's got less than 4 million stitches on it.
It's a baby.
Yeah, it just
It's
came in
a
yesterday.
baby.
So if you are interested or thinking about a dream machine, let me know sooner than later.
You sure you don't want one up here, Deanna? You sure?
Because it's probably going to be gone by this time next week. So if
it'll
you're
be
interested,
gone by
yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah, so if you are
it's
interested-
not going to stick around. We made this announcement about the bag class, and all of a sudden it was full.
Yeah, but the dream machines, I'm seeing fewer and fewer of them come in because the people that are upgrading, there are fewer and fewer used ones out there. But this one, like I said, it came in. It's got less than 4 million stitches. It's a fantastic, nice, clean machine. So if it's something you're interested in, let me know sooner than later. Because, like I said, it's not gonna be here long. And that's
Yay, Bev.
pretty much all I have
Oh,
for.
they didn't pick up the.
That's pretty much all I have for shop news at this point. Yay for shop news. So I guess. Oh wait, did you want to show off the coming soon?
I did. Let me put this. Am I upside down or right side up? Or they were going this way. That makes too much sense. That over there so I don't spill anything. So when you come in the
you want to turn it
store.
around.
Oh, I do.
Yep. See, just like that.
Okay. There we go. Whew!
And if you all remember the solo show I had to do a couple weeks ago, most of that stuff is in here.
What happened is Brent put together this really nice book, which apparently hasn't quite updated completely.
Yes, there's a few things
But that's okay because we have to get him started. And when you come in, you can look to see what's coming in regarding kit stuff.
Yes.
Or new collections that will have a kit available. So this is, the Tulip Pink Daydreamer one that's coming up. He's got the witch's hour. Isn't this cool? And he's got an estimated date because, you know.
And the dates are kind of
We try,
estimated.
but you know, we got to get it here.
But we have any of the kits that are in this book. If you look through this, we do have
Yeah.
sign-ups for it so that you
Yep,
can
and
sign up.
right here we
And-
have. If you want to be notified when they
Yep.
come in, we have these like here. You already got someone on the sci-fi
Oh, yeah.
right there. Amanda, good choice. That yells Amanda. I love it.
And what we're doing with sign-ups on this is
the deep forest.
you're not committed. You're not committed to anything. We're
Yeah.
just going to call you when it comes in.
Oh,
And if at that,
she was busy signing.
oh
up.
yeah, she went through the book and she sent a
Yeah,
bunch
no,
of.
there's some really good stuff in here.
And the
so.
idea is we'll just give you a call when it comes in, and then you can, if you've changed your mind at that point, it's not going to hurt our
It
feelings.
just is so we have one place so
Yep.
we don't forget you. And if you call in, make sure you say,
Put me on the list.
please, right now, go get the book and put me on the list because they're going to forget.
Because what happens a lot of
So
times
anyway,
too, some
I think
stuff will
this is
come in,
really-
some stuff will come in and go out as fast as it comes in. So some people are
This
like, I never
is-
saw that fabric. So
this is gonna be
if you
really
sign up, we
cute.
will call you when it comes in, so you can decide.
I
if
love
you,
this sweater season one.
yeah, that's gonna be, and that's gonna. I think we only got 12 kits of that one coming in.
That's really cute. So, yeah, if you're coming in, I just like looking. Oh, I haven't seen that one. Okay, guys, there's more in here than he showed you. I haven't seen that one, Brent.
Well, some of them, I've been adding stuff too.
I love it. And the animals. I'm cooking now because there were some I didn't
Okay.
know. Okay.
But yes,
good.
that's what we've got for news. So like I said, that's here. So, and if there's anything you see that you want us to put you on the list for, just give us a call.
Yeah,
and
it's a
we'll
great
give you a call.
it's a great book to keep
Yep.
us going. You don't have prairie in here though still.
I don't have prairie in there. That is correct.
And you need a picture of prairie.
I keep meaning to put prairie in there.
Yeah. But it's really
Yeah,
really
but
I like
prairie's
that
gonna
you're
be
doing
here-
it and we'll cycle through it.
Yeah, I was gonna
so
say prairie should be here.
it should be
anytime
any
at this
day,
point.
yeah. So but I like the book
The
a
book.
lot. I'm giving him kudos for
Every now and then.
this organization.
Yes, every now. Well, I don't know whose idea it was. I don't know. I didn't do the top though.
Is that Danny?
I think no, I think Riley did that one.
Oh, Riley. All
Yeah,
right. I
yeah.
love it. So come in. This is near the counter. Coming soon.
Yep.
Fabric and
Yep.
kits. Shows you what's happening down the pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. All right. Let's stick that over here.
All right, so that brings us on to quiz time.
Woo!
Yay! No music. Where's our music?
I think it's when
Quiz
we get
time.
the answer.
Question
See,
first.
now you're
Oh.
doing the same thing I did last week. Where's my music? I want to start dancing. And she's
I
like-
just did it because I wanted to give Danny a hard time
And the
because
in-
she was just like.
I'm paying attention.
and-
Danny just come rolling in late,
the-
probably out in her convertible.
And the enforcer's like, you can't dance till you ask the question.
Question. Well, do you
Okay.
have a question?
I do have a question. Bev, that's not
It's Deanna's last summer up
would,
here.
but it's my last summer up there. Deanna, don't say stuff like that. Okay, anyway. We
Is
got
that-
you.
now,
we got,
hold
well,
on a
get,
se- hold
get
on a
you up in
second.
the shop, Deanna.
Hold on a second. So is she saying that because she's got other plans, or is she planning on cashing out before next summer? And
She's
been,
planning on cashing out.
Oh no!
Yeah, she is.
Kicking the bucket, selling the farm, that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's getting
She's
hard.
not that old.
It's getting, I know, but it's hard on Norm.
Oh,
I
okay,
told
yep.
her not to, just for the record. I said, it's for you. It's for you.
I
It's
got you.
something you love. Leave Norm in Tennessee. That's what I
hope
would
Norm's
do.
not watching.
Oh, he probably is. He would say the same thing, though. He would.
Oh, that's good.
He would.
I mean, it's a good guy. Okay.
There goes my inheritance.
I was just going to say that. You're out of the well.
You got the kid. What more do you need?
I do. I got the man.
The
I got the
man.
man. Okay, question. We're supposed to be doing a question.
Yes, quiz.
Last week. Yeah, a quiz question. Last week, Brent was feeling, I don't know, like he was going on vacay mode early or something. So
Well, we're going
instead
on
of just
vacation.
giving out a $10 GC, he broke the bank. And he gave away something to our whole live audience and our online viewers. He gave a little extra to all of them. Time limit. Okay. I see your first hand out there, but we're gonna. Not any music. What was it that he gave away? And I don't have any tassels today.
When Eddie figures out how to do that on Photoshop, we're going to be in trouble.
Where's your music?
She's been practicing.
Pam's got it.
Woo!
We got it.
We have Pam and we have Sue. Woo! Did you raise your hand?
Yeah, we'll give Gene.
before that?
We'll give
Oh,
Gene
okay.
too.
Gene
Did everybody
wants
know?
it too.
Did everybody know?
$10 GC.
Right, yes.
1 yard of
Yes.
growth. Yay, Bev! Yay! See, they do listen when it comes to freebies.
I know.
Woohoo!
Woo! Okay, so that's
I
$10.
purposely took the question from the full video versus the short videos, just to give you a hint. I said, I want to cover something that if you didn't really watch, you ain't gonna get.
Oh, did I tell you somebody found us last week online? She called us up all excited. She was doing Frosty.
Oh!
And she was like, I'm glad you guys are doing this. I'm so excited.
Is she a brother person?
Yep. Yeah, she has a Luminaire.
Oh! She's part of our club.
Yes.
I love it.
So, but she's in
Awesome.
California, so we're gonna have to set up like a virtual Zoom thing at some point.
Well,
to
we
do-
have
We
videos.
have some of the videos up
Yeah.
there too.
I'm just telling you that. Yeah, but you know,
We do,
yeah.
but
But anyway,
we do videos.
total side. But yes, $10 for Pam,
yeah.
and we'll do $10 for Susan and Jean too. You know,
Yeah.
encourage the studio audience.
Woohoo! I love it.
Yes,
Did you
Danny.
guys talk about Kimberbell? I wasn't here.
Yes.
We
Okay.
did enforce her. You were late.
I'm sorry.
He
I'm sorry.
right out of the gate, he had that.
But Danny does a lot of our website stuff, so shout out to her for getting the links up there for us.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
So that brings us to Quilt of the Week.
Ooh.
Again, another one picked by Riley.
Ooh.
I don't know if I'm supposed to show this one off. Sometimes we're getting into graduation season.
Did you at least remember the first name this time?
Kathy.
Okay, good. Okay, let me go over here when you do
But this is
show it off. Without
Quilt of the Week.
I
It's just the
love
colors in it.
those
It's a
colors.
very springtimey quilt.
I love the colors.
Very
What
springtimey.
size is that?
I don't know.
It's not twin,
55 by
so
62.
it's considered lap.
It would
It's a
probably
big lap.
when we quilt this, we would call this a throw,
Okay.
but it will fit the top of a twin mattress.
Oh, without
It's just
hanging
it's not
down.
going to drape.
Oh,
This is
okay.
right. This is actually right in the ballpark of my favorite size quilt. 60 by 80 or 50 by 70, give or take. That to me is the best size quilt because it's not so big that it's so big and bulky you can't use it for anything except the bed. This is the perfect size because it will fit on the top
You
of like a
know,
twin.
I can see taking that to the beach.
That's what I'm saying. You can throw it in a camper. It's just a nice
That would
size
be a
quilt, but this
nice
is a fantastic
blanket.
quilt. This is just a fun.
Beautiful blankie for the
So this is Kathy's, and so that's $50
$50
GC or towards the quilting. I don't know.
$50 to the quilting.
Yes.
That's what it is.
$50 towards the
to
quilting. So that was Quilt of the Week. Yay!
Behind you. Woo, 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 woo,
And then
woo,
now
woo,
we're off
woo.
to Turbo Tip.
Oh, okay. I do have a turbo tip, but it's a little strange turbo tip because it doesn't really have to do with anything with sewing
Is that a
machines.
new Turbo Tip graphic?
Wait,
That looks
I
good,
missed
too.
it. I missed
Let's
it.
see it again.
You
I
guys
think
have
you.
not been here the last 5
Yeah, you haven't been pushing the buttons though.
I
don't
haven't
know.
been paying attention in between. I'm all about looking at myself, Eddie.
Adorn
Okay,
it.
turbo tip.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Becky is one of these people that can't stay away from these clubs. And some of them I really love and some of them I don't love. But Becky knew she was going to be gone and wasn't going to have her sewing machines, so she needed some handwork. And truthfully, during the summer, I do a lot of handwork because the Red Sox are always on. And for some reason,
You're
I
not a-
feel guilty if I'm not sitting beside him when he's watching the Red Sox. And if it's not the Golf Channel, it's the Red Sox
You gotta
Channel.
get over that.
And
Just men hitting little balls. I mean,
Because-
it's messed up.
because I can't golf with him right now, I feel really guilty when he's watching it, and I'll go, I'm going to go up to my craft studio. And then I just like, oh, I feel so bad. So I have to do some handwork.
You know what Sarah would say to me if I'm like,
Bye.
no, she'd be like, why the F do you think you need to watch this with me?
Exactly.
It's togetherness. But truthfully, I need handwork. And
Yes.
so I picked up cross stitch. That's my son's fault. Back into cross stitch. But this is a quilt. I'm going to put it up so Eddie can see it. This is interesting. This Stitches of Love. I've talked to them about them before. It's a mom and daughter gang that does a lot of their own designs and then markets them, uses artists to create the work, and then you buy monthly subscriptions, and the subscriptions are a little pricey, but it's different, so I like it. So one of the quilts they came out with for this year is Stitches. What's it called?
Stitches.
A Girl's Life. So it goes January through December. It doesn't matter when you join. You can join mid-year, and you start with every month you join, and they keep wrapping them
I'm
around.
gonna do the picture, Eddie.
And what happens
you're missing all the
is,
fun
in
hand
this
gestures.
quilt, it's really fun. First you piece your block. So there's piecing involved. But then in this case, you have to hand embroider. And they use the product that you have in the store, actually. The print and stitch. You bought it by mistake.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I was like, I don't remember.
Print and stitch, you send it through your printer and you print your design on it, use it to embroider on top of it, and then it dissolves in water. It goes away. So it's quilting, but it's handwork. So yeah, Becky, and you can see I'm still on January, and February and March are already in my closet. But anyway, I saw something that went, are you kidding me? How many years have I cross-stitched? How many years have I embroidered? And I have never seen this before, and it's a game changer. Now, so you could be quilting by hand. You could do handwork. A lot of us do handwork, even though
I'm
we're
allergic
quilters.
to handwork, but okay.
I
Same.
see. Sometimes I just love it. So this is an example with the and look at the thread I get. I just love stuff that comes like this. And because I didn't know what color girls I was having, I got the various flesh tones so I can, because I got brown babies, so yeah, we can make everybody happy with the flesh tones. But every month you get the colors you need in your little box. I really love it. I'm sorry. Now this is a very tiny hoop because Becky can't hold anything of any weight in this hand yet. So imagine this is a bigger hoop. Do y'all know where this came from? Kimberbell ornaments.
Yes, I remember the ornaments,
I was busy
yeah.
painting them because I don't like them plain. But I found this one and it works. Now, how many of you hoop? This is a lesson on hooping. And think about it. Think about it. It's really what we do on our machines. It
Yes.
made my light bulb go, what? Normally, when we're hand embroidering something, we take this guy, we stick it over our pattern. Am I showing up okay, Ed?
Yeah.
And then we hoop it like this. This is going to be hard for me to do, so I apologize. We hoop it like that, right? Tighten our screw and away we go.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Watch this. And what happens? It loosens and it loosens and it loosens and you're forever tightening and tightening. And it loosens and it loosens and you're tightening and tightening. And you get on the back and you're trying to run a stitch on the back and bumping into this thing so you can't get where you want to go because you keep hitting the embroidery hoop. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
No? Yeah, you know. Watch this. And I thought, why didn't I think of this?
I can't wait to see this.
Put this on top.
Okay, go up a little bit further so they can see.
Put this guy on top, like we do our embroidery hoops. Then stick this inside this hoop.
Yeah, why didn't you think of that?
Then tighten it.
That's like so obvious, Becky. What were you thinking?
You go on floss tube and you'll
Yes.
see nobody's doing this. And I'm like, you know this, Jean? Yeah, okay, well, Jean knew the tip. Well, I didn't, Jean. Why didn't you share it with me?
I had no idea you like that stuff.
So now when you stitch, guess what? It's not loosening and it's not loosening. It's
I
staying
gotcha.
nice and tight. And guess what happens on the back? Woo! I got plenty of room to wind my thread in.
But
I'm
you
not
don't
hitting
have room
anything.
on the top though.
You don't need it on the top.
Oh, okay.
Top, you're going up and down, up and down, up
I
and
got
down.
you. Okay.
You might, I guess, sometimes, but I don't. I do up and down, up and down. So
Eddie,
this is what
you're on
we.
the wrong camera. Okay, now
This
she's
is
going
what we
back.
do with our. Well, not all.
See, Eddie's
hoops.
doing paper mache. Well, he's
Origami. We don't do this with all machines, but we do it on a lot of our machines. We hoop it in. So my tip is, hoop your embroidery the same way you hoop your machine embroidery,
Yeah.
and your life is a whole lot funner.
okay. Great tip.
It really
It's a
doesn't.
tip I will probably never use because I'm allergic to handwork, but okay.
Well, a lot of us do some handwork.
Okay.
Nobody in this store.
How many of y'all do
Why-
some
okay.
handwork?
Yeah.
I have to have some.
I'm gonna put a quiz.
Sue, wrong DNA.
Yeah, but how many people? Okay, but so we did. I mean, Frosty's a prime example. That's supposed to be like.
Yeah.
Well,
Handwork.
I'm not doing that kind of hand.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so
In
now
fact, as I'm doing this, I'm like, why aren't I just digitizing this?
that's what I was thinking when you're
The
doing.
reason I didn't is because I needed something for on the go.
Okay.
I need something for on the go, and this is a nice. But
That's really cute.
truthfully, I'm to the point where okay, yeah, maybe every other month we'll digitize because I don't see myself finishing it anytime soon. But it's a cute idea. It's a cute
That
quote.
is, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that's my tip.
Onto the workbench.
Go backwards.
Workbench. I don't know why I haven't seen these graphics before.
Oh my God.
I think Eddie's holding out on us.
No, they've been there. You
Okay.
just don't pay attention.
But anyway, workbench. So today, normally we talk about sewing machines and how to fix and stuff, but today I want to get more into the workbench or the business side of things because I figured workbench is where I talk about
Because
stuff
he's
that nobody cares
leaving.
about.
Because
No,
he's leaving for
no,
months.
because if you've been living under a rock, you may not have noticed prices are getting out of control.
And supply is
Supply,
getting even
so
worse.
pricing and supplies is really getting kind of crazy. And what I have seen on the storefront, something that's been very interesting in the last couple months, is you're starting to see a lot more UMAP pricing or MAP pricing. That's minimized advertised pricing. And
What is that?
that's what we're going to talk about.
What's it? Minimized?
Minimized advertised price, minimum advertised price.
Meaning you can't advertise it for less than
Yes,
they tell
there's
you to.
some. I don't know all the legal wrangling around it, but I do know that there are, collusion and monopolies and all that crap. But there is. But a lot of the companies have moved to minimum MAP pricing. Now, as an example, I'm just going to talk about sewing machines real quick.
Brother
has this on a few machines now. They used to not have MAP pricing. They have MSRP pricing. So for the longest time, I couldn't advertise. I cannot put in print advertising or on the internet the price of what we charge for a machine unless it is the MSRP. So for an example, the PS500, which is the kind of the first tier sewing machine we sell, that MSRP is for.
Thank you, Dan. I agree. Dev, go pound sand.
Wow. But MSRP.
I meant garden. Go garden.
The MSRP on the PS500 is $999.99, which means if I was going to advertise the PS500, I could not do it for less than that because that's MSRP under the contract I have with Brother. However, the MAP pricing, yes.
Even if there's a sale, you still couldn't, could you?
You can within your geographic area. There's a lot of stuff around it, but basically I was stuck to advertising MSRP, and you'll see this on most machines. If you're looking for a machine and you start calling around, most of them are going to give you MSRP pricing.
Because they kind of have
They
to.
kind of have to. And then what Brother did is there's a few machines like the PS500 and the NQ1700. They said, well, you can sell those online. And then when we start selling them online, nobody's going to pay that $999 for PS500 online. So then you start that race to the bottom. Who can sell it cheapest? That's where MAP pricing comes in. They said, okay, you can sell it online, but you cannot sell it for less than $749.99. That's
Wow,
a
that
20.
just doesn't sound
That's a
legal.
25% difference in prices right there.
Yeah.
So you can see why. So that's MAP pricing is what a retailer can advertise it at, and I can sell it for less if I want. There's nothing stopping me from advertising it for less. But what happens is the Brother comes along and says we're not going to sell you machines anymore because you're advertising for under our agreed upon price.
They spank you.
Yes. So that's what MAP pricing is all about. And so I was just going to use the sewing machines as an example. But what I found interesting in the last couple months, I have gotten MAP pricing notices from Orifil.
Really?
Yeah. So you'll notice if you check out our website, and now I'm just telling people this. I'm not telling you what we're selling it for, but you will notice that on our website, Orifil, I want to say is like $13.49 a spool.
I don't even remember.
And so this is also a shout out to go shop.
I don't look at the prices. I just
Yeah,
buy.
but I'm just saying this is also a shout out to go to your local shops because on the website I have to sell it for the $13.49 or whatever they've told me the MAP pricing is. Otherwise, I will have a hard time getting Orifil in the shop because they will
won't let
they
you
will talk
sell
to
it
distributors
for less.
and I'll have a hard time getting it. And the reason being is because if you go, you can check out like eBay or Amazon. You're seeing Orifil being sold for less than.
How do they get away with that?
I don't know. I don't know if they're selling old Orifel.
Is
I don't
it
know how
fake
they.
Orifel?
Yeah, I don't know how they're doing it, but the price is less than wholesale sometimes. Or very close to wholesale. They're not
I
making
think
any
that's
money.
what I have in here, is the embroidery
Yeah.
weight Orifel.
So what you're gonna see is, I just wanted to bring this up because Tula Pink is another one. I got an email from Tula Pink saying that if you Jaftex in general saying
think
if
it's
you're gonna sell
Orifel.
Jaftex, it has to be listed at a specific price online. So Tula Pink now we have to have it advertised online at like $13 or $14 a
I
yard.
don't know. It's 50 weight.
But we're starting to see a lot more of this as a way to combat low internet prices because the people are, if you don't have a shop, you have a lot less overhead, so you can sell stuff
You
cheaper
can,
online.
yeah,
And so a
yeah.
lot of the companies now are moving to map pricing. So what you're going to notice
To
is
make it a little fairer.
a little fairer. So you're going to notice that a lot of the prices. So for example, I'll use Tula Pink. We are selling it less expensively in the store because we can. But online, we have to sell it at that price. So if you start shopping around,
Really?
yeah.
So if we buy it online, even though it's still from you,
Mm-hmm.
we have to pay more for it versus walking in the store
Yes.
and purchasing
Yes,
it.
because I cannot advertise it for
Yeah.
less expensive online.
Interesting.
Otherwise, what'll happen is Jaftex will pull some strings.
Yeah, and we don't
And
want
then
that to happen.
yeah, and I get it
Don't want
because
that to
because
happen.
they need to make sure that all vendors are taken care of so
Yeah.
that people are buying their fabric. I mean, it makes perfect sense from where I'm sitting as a shop owner. But I wanted to make people aware of this because I'm starting to see more and more of it. And as prices start to go up, you might start to notice online that prices are going through the roof on some of this stuff. But that doesn't necessarily mean that your local shop is going to be through the roof on pricing. Go to your local shop and check it out. See what they're really selling it for. Because like I said, Orifel, we have to sell it for more online than we are in the shop because of the minimum advertised pricing policy that they put in place. And I really think I'm going to start seeing more and more of this because as like I said, I saw it with Orifel, I saw it with a Jaftex, and I really think we're going to see a lot more people in the industry kind of moving to that direction. And it's not a bad thing. Their minimum advertised pricing is right in line with what we're paying wholesale for stuff. So it's not unreasonable the price that you're seeing. It's just our business model here allows us to go a little bit less expensive on fabric and thread because we're picking up more of our profit center is going to be the machine quilting and the sewing machines. But that's specific to our store. So I can understand that not every store can do
Jason,
that.
I've been trying to think of a way to talk you into bringing some cool cross stitch in.
Yeah, and we could. But I just thought from a workbench, like I said, normally we talk about machines, but I just thought that would be something interesting that not privy to on the buying side of things. But you will see the prices are going up. And not a whole lot we can do about it.
It's crazy
But with this
right
new
now.
thing with that,
It's crazy.
with the map pricing is, I think you're going to see a little bit more of a jump than necessary because they're trying to level out that playing field.
Interesting.
So all I'm going to
Well,
say
there'll be a
is
lawsuit.
shop local.
There'll be some lawsuits on that one, I
No,
guarantee.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I think the way that I don't
Yeah,
because of the agreements. Because like for example, Jaftex can say if you're going to buy our product, you have to advertise it for this price. They're not saying that I have to charge it for that price. So you can come into the store and I can sell it for less than we do, but I can't advertise it for less than that.
Wow.
But Jaftex isn't the only fabric company, so there's
Right.
not like a monopoly thing where it's just like, well, Jaftex can't do it. Well, no, because I
Yeah.
can just buy somebody else.
But
so there's
they're all getting on the bandwagon.
but everybody's gonna. I think you're gonna see it to some degree. But so, like I said, shop local because my suspicion is you're gonna find that local stores
It's hard to shop local these days.
Yeah.
I was calculating in my head, like,
because of
Four Pines versus, there's nothing in the Upper Valley at
and
all.
yeah. Well,
It's
and I really think that these new policies are going to encourage that because now it's going to make sense for somebody to open up a quilt shop or a small
Mm-hmm.
fabric store because you're going to be able to say, well, I've got enough market here. And I know that I don't have to compete with these prices online because
maybe.
that's what's
I don't
caused
know.
a lot of shops to kind of reevaluate. Because if I had to compete with what I've seen Orifel advertised for,
right. You couldn't.
I really couldn't.
Yeah.
I'm almost paying you to take it at that point.
Yeah.
And you see that with some fabric lines are that way as well. So I really see what they're doing, and I think you'll see it in the long run. It'll be healthier for the local businesses. And so I just say I'd encourage you to shop local. And if you see a price online, like I said, I'm not going to say call up and say what's your real price because I'm not
Right.
going to play that game either.
Yeah.
But just something to be aware of. It's just kind of the way things are going. I think we're going to start seeing more of it. And so if you're looking for the best deal I think a year from now, the best deal is going to be your local shop. I really think for the high-end fabric, the high-end thread, the high-end materials, you're going to see a lot of people go this direction to drive people back to shop. Very similar to what Kimberbell is doing with their kind of their commission with their affiliate links.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense for Kimberbell to do subscription boxes. I don't hold it, and it's really, but they also recognize that it's the shops that are supporting the sales.
Yeah.
That's why they do the affiliate program.
They all come in wanting to know how to do
Yeah.
something, or they need a little extra fabric because they messed
Yep.
up. Or
And so it's very smart that they do the
Yeah.
affiliate program so they can make
Yeah.
their money on the subscriptions, but at the same time they're supporting the local because I was talking to a gal, she just moved up from recently moved from, can't remember where, but anyway, her thing was she's still 2.5 hours from the shop, but she stopped by and she's like, well, she's changing her hobbies because there's no the local support. There's not a lot of local support for her sewing and embroidery.
Oh, that's so sad.
And like she said, she's got a million other things she likes to do, so it's not a
Right.
big deal.
Yeah.
But it's something to consider that the local support makes a big difference.
It makes a huge.
It makes a
difference.
huge
I know.
difference.
I really enjoy just the socialization
Yeah.
of having the shops.
Yeah, and I like I said, I think map pricing is a really interesting. You're going to see more of it.
Interesting.
And
Okay.
so if you're an online shopper, it's going to get more expensive.
Everything is going to.
Yeah, everything's going up. But I just thought that was kind of interesting, so I thought I would share that
Yeah,
today.
very cool.
So there you go.
All right, awesome. Woohoo!
Woohoo! Yay!
So now we're
And
going.
I didn't bore you with that one. Usually you just zone out on me on the.
I might have zoned out. I might be better at faking it. I've had some practice.
That's what she said on that one?
I have to wear this splint to bed still, and my husband calls it the Roman slipper. Sorry, hon, because it hurts my hand because it's like chopped Velcro.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrap my hand in this white soft towel first, and then I put the splint on and Velcro it up, and it's like this. And he calls it. He goes, "You got the Roman slipper on?" I'm like,
That's what she said.
it hasn't stopped him. Just saying. Roman slipper or not. Okay, back to Design Center.
Yes.
Okay, so last week, Anita, I hope you feel better. See, you're not on today, and I hope you feel better. She said, I missed you last week because I didn't feel good. And I said, keep it to yourself, please. There's a lot of going around. I don't want any of it. But we talked about the Design Center. And just to refresh your memory, or if you didn't see last week yet, I had taken a sample from a pattern. This is a quilt pattern. And I had brought up that they were having you make all these little designs in some corner blocks and along the border. It's really pretty. And of course, the whole thing is designed for you to use these shape templates, cut it out, and to hand applique. Okay, I just said I like handwork, but this is like a king-size quilt, and these go all around the quilt, and I'm like, no. And Anita was like, no. So she said, how can we digitize this? So that's how it all got started. Did I bore anybody yet? I then said very quickly, Becky, let's take one of these small ones. And I said, think about it as components. Your first instinct might be to go into your machine and scan this whole thing in at once. And when you watch videos, you will see them doing that. And I'm telling you, in a case like this, don't. Because if you really study this pattern, it's using the same shapes over and over and over again.
Because that's the same flower that you're going to use down there.
And the leaves are the same,
Yep.
and you'll see the stems reused.
Yep.
So I'm telling you, when you look at something, think of components. Because I'm going to digitize the component, and then I'm going to be able to use it again and again and again and again and again and again, wherever I want to. Because I'm going to build components in Design Center, and I'm going to put them together in embroidery. That's
Okay.
where we left off.
Yes.
So last week, we looked at this shape right here, and we scanned it in, and we gave it just straight stitch outline.
Yes,
And we saved it like that.
I hope so.
Well,
We did,
hopefully
yes.
we did. And the reason we want to save it is so we can go back and make changes to it. When I said save it, we saved it in the design center. If we only save stuff in the embroidery area, I can't go back and make alterations to my design. So that's why we want to save it in the design center.
So design center here, embroidery
This-
here.
Yep.
So which one are we opening?
Well, this week, we're going to leave this one alone for right now. We're going into design center.
Okay.
What I want to do is show you how I would approach a stem. And the reason is, when I was doing this flower,
Anyway, go back over here.
you can see, oh, here you go. You can see that it's the top layer, okay? But if I look at my stem, I'm going underneath the stem, okay? So in my brain, I know if I'm going to do a satin stitch, a blanket stitch doesn't add a lot of weight, so you can go underneath
Yeah.
the flower. But if I'm doing a satin stitch, which is what we're doing on this project, I don't want the bulk of the satin stitch going underneath. The same thing happens up here with this tulip. So what I wanted to show you today is how I would approach doing a stem that I know the ends are going to go underneath something. All right? So we had used a Sharpie and made some wonky shapes. The other thing to keep in mind, and Brent, maybe we can show this today quickly too, is some of these shapes are already in your machine.
Yeah, I can actually show that real
Want
quick.
to show that? Like this circle is supposed to be a perfect circle.
So if you're in design center, this over here is going to have your different shapes. Mm-hmm. So you've got circles. If you
And
wanted
see that
to,
flower looks awfully suspicious.
yeah,
so
that flower
close.
would probably work very well.
Yeah,
You've also got,
I would take the petally flower.
Yeah.
But you can take any of these shapes.
here's some more flowers.
And use them as components. See, there's some leaves that are awfully close.
Yeah.
So keep in mind, you don't have to build from scratch each and every time you want to make something. There's lots, I think the Luminaire has more shapes than the
Yes, the Dream Machine. I
Dream
believe so,
Machines
yes.
do. And of course, I love the Luminaire, so that's what we're going to show it off on. But this again is something you can do with Dream
Yeah.
Machine and up.
Yeah, and that's when I looked at this, that's what I was thinking. That flower shape was like we already got one in there.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't say that last week. So I'm going to let you put this on
Okay.
because last week I made an awful noise, and I don't want to do that again. So this is using the scanning board, which I don't know if all of you ever
All right.
even use the scanning
So-
board. So here we go.
Yep. So again, we're going to scan.
We're just going to look at the stem right now.
and we're going to do a line design.
With hope. What time is it? How come I don't see time on there? Oof. I don't get enough time to do my dog and pony.
I know, and I took too long talking about prices. So it's recognizing. Yay. Look at that. Yay.
It is fun at Four Pines, D, and I hope when we get your Fanny up here that you can come in at least once a week.
Yep.
I'm going to put on the pressure.
Yeah. Get her in here.
Get
Be
her
like,
in
Get
here
in here,
so
Danny.
she can have some fun. Even if it's just a couple hours, we'll get you set up. I know somebody.
We don't. Yeah. Pull some strings.
Yeah. Now we're going to crop out, Brent.
Yep.
We're going to crop out just the stem because that's what we want to talk about today. So what he's doing right now is just using his finger instead of the mouse, which I actually brought. Last week I
Oh,
showed you
and
how
like-
I prefer a mouse. Do you want the mouse?
But for so far we're good. All right.
Okay.
What you'll find on
I'll
the
still dig it out.
the Dream Machine screen is much more responsive to fingers. Way better. Luminaire has a little bit more high tech screen going on.
I like using, we talked about this last week,
Yep.
just an old-fashioned wired mouse.
Yep. And I'll plug it.
And that could be because I grew up that way.
Yeah, well, I also find on the Luminaire.
I
it's
also
nice.
have stylus, but the mouse has really been my
Yeah, I
my
find the mouse
favorite.
a lot easier to work with especially on Luminaire. All right.
So grayscale we talked about quickly how you can minimize the extra stuff.
Yeah, a lot
Okay,
of this
now
would go.
talk about what you just did. You
Well, we
why-
talked about this last week.
Okay, well, just go fast.
Okay, we'll go fast. So all this is down here is just the stitch type. It's going to default to satin stitch.
And we don't want it to.
Yeah, because we wanted the running stitch, correct?
Right.
The
The
running
minute
the
the-
running stitch and the triple stitch are the other two that you'll probably use a lot
Yeah.
of.
The minute this comes in, it wants to assign a stitch to it.
Yep.
Like, so you want to pick the stitch you want assigned to it.
And you can change it later, but it's just as easy to do it now.
Yeah.
And so we like that, and we're
Yeah.
just going to digitize that, and
No, yes, that.
yeah, yep. And then we're going to hit set.
Okay.
And
And
then we're
then
gonna
we
fade
clear
out the
the
back.
fade out the back because
Yep.
it's just noise.
Yep.
Okay. So now we have our little stem, and I showed you how to check the stitching. Do you remember that, Brent?
Yep, we're going to just take this guy here
Mm-hmm.
and hit the middle.
That makes sure it's a closed shape, because by definition an applique is a closed shape.
Yes.
If we choose to cut this later on the scanning cut, it needs to be a closed
Closed
shape.
shape.
Okay, so we just undo that, we tested it. Now can you show them how we stitched, watch the stitching?
Yes.
I'm really just testing Brent to see if he paid attention last week.
Was it on this screen? I thought it was
Up,
on
up,
this one.
up, where the little leafy poo is.
Oh yeah, that one right there. No, it's not it.
Oh,
I think it's on. I don't think it's on the screen because
oh
we're
it's the
still
next
design.
screen. I
Yeah.
always get that messed up,
So we're gonna go
don't
ahead
I?
next, and then it's this one right here, the hoop,
There it is, thank you.
and then we can
And
just.
then we can hit that. And you'll see basically it's just going to stitch out. Whoa, that
Yeah.
was fast. Boom.
Boom, boom, boom.
See,
Look
did
at
you
that.
see it? It's just a little stem.
Yep.
So guess what that is?
We could like just do it all day. Look at that. Ooh, yeah.
What is it? What did you just create?
It's an outline stitch, right?
A placement stitch.
Placement stitch. Yeah.
You just created a placement stitch. Just like that. Yeah. Oh, placement stitch. So we want to save it.
We're gonna save that to the memory.
And you can do it either on a USB stick. And if you were doing a whole bunch of components, I probably would save it on my machine and a USB stick.
And what I'm going to say too, if you're somebody that likes to experiment and play with things,
Yes.
and you're playing in Design Center, I would recommend playing with this pitch setting.
Which is like the the
Yes.
size of your running stitch.
I would get like a circle or a square and probably save 3 or 4 different versions of it with different pitch settings to
find the one you like.
Yeah, find the pitch you like.
That's a and I don't know why they call it pitch there.
I think there's I don't know.
I don't-
I'm sure
I-
there's a technical reason for it. I don't know.
It's basically how far apart your
Yeah.
stitches are.
Yeah, it's your stitch length basically. But you might I would say test that out and see if if you've got
That's a
some
good idea.
Yeah, if you're somebody that likes to play with this sort of stuff,
And then
I
write
would-
it down.
Yeah.
Or change the default.
Well, what I would recommend is to stitch it out like on some muslin,
Yep.
and then use a Sharpie and just write the pitch setting underneath it.
So you have a
You
feel.
could actually set
It's-
you could actually set 4 circles up on one thing and change
Yeah.
the pitch on each of them.
That's a good idea.
And then you could just write down what it looks
to
like.
know what you like.
Yeah.
But already you have a placement stitch.
Yeah.
And by definition, the same thing can be used for your tack down stitch if you're doing tack down stitches. So bada bing, bada boom. It is a component and we saved it. Now I want to assign satin stitches to this.
So
you saved it, right?
I saved that. Yeah.
We don't want it. We want to make sure we save it without the satin stitch, and now we're going to save it with the satin stitch. And some of you who like buttonholes, you can use buttonholes
So
here. Or also some of you, if you want to do the tack down stitch with what do they call that little tooth stitch?
yeah, sawtooth.
You can change it and save it again, so you would have a placement stitch, a tooth tack down stitch, and then a satin stitch or a buttonhole stitch or whatever your little heart wants.
So on the luminary, you can change that right here. I believe on the Dream Machine, you'd actually have to go back a screen, change it, and then
Right.
come back
But
in.
make sure you save it.
Yes,
first.
we've saved it. So now, what do we want to? What's our next
We're
one?
going to do satin stitch.
We're gonna do a satin
So
stitch.
what we're doing is we're modifying at this point. And they have lots of, like the candlewick stitch is
Yeah.
really popular right
Yep.
now. You see that on any of these stitches
And-
can be applied to this stem.
And just as a side note, what I will often do too, now that I'm putting a satin stitch on there, I would change the color to like a red or a blue
and the
or a
reason
purple.
and the reason you like to change the color is
Is so that you have a thread stop when you
color
layer
stop.
a color stop when you layer them together. Plus, it's also much easier for me when I'm laying stuff out with the different colors to see.
Yeah. If those stitches were all the same color, your machine may not stop in between. And if you're doing applique, you kind of need it to stop and time for you to put your little stem down.
And it doesn't matter what color. For some reason, I like red, but you can
Something
go
you
green,
can
blue.
see.
Yeah.
something you can see. And again, he can change the size. You might want to blow that up for the people at home. Go to 100%.
Oh.
Take it up higher so they can see the satin stitch on it. There you go. Now, sometimes what you want to do is control how close together your satin stitches are and also how big they are. So that's the two settings that we see over on the side. We can actually make our satin stitch
Yeah.
wider or skinnier. That's a very skinny satin stitch.
Yes, I can tell you right now that whenever I've done this, I like 0.12.
0.12. Okay.
But I could be wrong. I could be remembering it wrong.
I don't know. It's a tiny stem, but I want enough
Yeah.
to get those raw edges.
And then this setting
But
below
we're
it,
not going to save it yet because we're not done with it.
the setting below it is your density.
Yes. So how close they are together.
Yes.
So if you're stitching and you see little gaps where you don't want to look gaps, you want to bring those stitches closer together. And again, if you write these settings down, you're done.
Yes, but
Find
as
what you like.
something I learned today
What?
that 28 weight, no 12 weight Aurifil.
Yeah.
If you run it at 50% density, it'll come out nice.
12 weight?
12 or 28 weight, the thick stuff, the really thick Aurifil.
I can't get it in my machine.
Oh, maybe it's the 28 then. But one of them, I think, yeah.
I tried to take some of those 8 weight.
Yeah, no, you
thing,
get,
and
the
then
8's too thick.
I had
12.
a great idea. You know, all that hand embroidering I'm doing. I'm like, I'm going to digitize it, use
Yeah.
a nice thick thread and be
No, 8,
bada bing, bada boom.
12 is, I think, as thick as you can
Didn't
get.
work.
12, I think, is as thick as you can get and still get it through your machine.
12. I don't
Yeah.
know if I tried 12.
But
I tried 8.
if you
was a
run it
fail.
if you run your density different, like I said on, I can't remember.
Well,
if it's
that
12
makes
20.
sense because the
Yeah.
thickness of your thread is definitely
Yeah, it'll make a difference. Yeah,
definitely going to matter. Okay, so now we have that, right?
yeah. So now we're gonna set it.
You can no.
Or
You
memory,
can hit
yeah.
memory if you want, but we have to go back and we have to alter that because I don't want those satin stitches going underneath my
Oh
flowers.
yeah, good point. So I want to return.
What does set it do?
Set it's gonna bring us to the.
Yeah, we don't want to go to embroidery yet.
Well, I just saved it, so if it does, we can always
Okay.
come back.
Okay, no, we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, he converted it. We don't want to do convert it.
Okay. So now we can just go. Yeah, it's all right. We can.
We want it to return. We want to edit it.
So we'll go back in here, and then we'll come over to memory.
Oh, look, he's being smart. He's trying to pull it up
Pull it up from here, not.
from the pocket. Tell him
And
what
his-
you're doing.
Okay, so-
we went to the pocket.
Yeah, so we went to the pocket to pull it up. Now, the other thing that's nice, so here's our two shapes, but remember we changed one to red? So that's how we can also tell the difference when you're starting to pull up
We
different.
know one is a placement.
Yeah, placement
Straight
was our black.
stitch. We've used colors to tell us what it is.
Yep.
Because they don't let us put in pretty names. Hopefully they'll change that. I hope they do. And this is all with no other software.
So we want- yeah.
That's what's so cool about this.
And so we want to bring up the satin stitch one,
we
correct?
do. We do.
But what's interesting, they didn't say, it's interesting. They don't save the stitch information when you save it from the other screen.
Blow it up.
I mean, it does. Well, I guess it does because
Yeah,
it
blow
is
it
right
up.
there.
Go. You're at
Yeah.
100. Let's take it up a notch so we can really see what's going on. Use your hand to pan. Oh, you use the scroll bar or something. Okay. Now I know that I don't want my satin stitches to go underneath my little flowers.
So that's going to be the ends here.
Yeah.
Because we don't need satin stitch right there on those ends because
Right,
that's
and
gonna,
I want to even come in a little. In my head, I'm got about a 1/4 inch that I'm going to tuck under,
yeah,
and I'll be able to tell when I bring it into embroidery.
yeah.
So it's no problem. So this is where I'm going to take my eraser, and I'm just going to get rid of those satin stitches that are at
At
the
end.
ends.
Okay, so I'm just going to hit eraser, and this is important. And you can see it. You can see the size of your eraser here. So if you really want to be fine.
Yeah, I tend to go bigger, and I like
Yeah.
square versus round.
Okay. And then what I like to do if I'm doing this
Is
because
really zoom
is
in.
really zoom in so we can really do this right.
Yep.
Now keep in mind that eraser scales as well.
Yeah, so like when you click, you'll see the size of the eraser. There's
So what
the
I will
eraser.
and this what I like to do is actually start off where I'm coming and just kind of come in to erase. So I'm just taking the ends off, right?
I go down a little bit because I don't want any satin stitches. I want my stem to be a 1/4 inch underneath my flower.
All right, so we'll bring that in a hair like that. You think?
Yeah, the beauty is when I bring it into embroidery and I lay them together, I'm going to see it, so I'll know how far to tuck it
Yeah.
under. Yeah, something like that. Now you can get fancy on your scanning, and you'll see. Eddie, can we go to this one again? You'll see I made dots here, where I said those are going to be hidden. If I had wanted to, when I scanned it in, I could have given myself some sort of dotted line or something to go by when I did that.
Yeah, some
But-
sort of reference point.
But
yeah.
I didn't feel I needed it in this case. But if you do, that's what you do. You just give yourself some
Because
reference
you
points to
want the
work
placement
with.
stitch to go underneath, but the satin stitch is going to stay on
Right,
top.
which is why
Yeah.
we saved it as a placement stitch.
Yeah.
Now we're saving it as satin stitch that's just going along the two
Yeah,
sides.
so now I'm just going to
But it was one scan. It was
Yep.
the one stem scan.
And I'm just going to save that to the machine
Make
again.
sure it's got satin stitches
Yeah, it's
on
got
it,
satin
too.
stitch up here, yep.
Okay.
Yep, so this is going to, this up here shows us what our stitch is going to be, and this is the color. And then
Okay.
we'll hit next.
Now,
That's,
he,
yeah.
he's been saved. Do you like those settings or no?
I don't know. What's nice to see, now you can't do this on a Dream Machine. This is on the Luminaire.
Oh,
That
the,
you-
the real-time
That
update.
you get to see how
That's
thick
why
that
you
looks.
need to write it down.
Yes.
On the,
You
especially
don't
on the
get, yeah,
Dream
the
machines.
this screen on your Dream Machine will not show the satin stitches and all the other stuff
Yeah.
accurately.
Yeah.
On the Luminaire you do get that, but not on a Dream Machine. That is going to be a big that's a
You
nice improvement.
experiment,
Yeah.
you find out what it is, write it down. Or come in and trade up for a Luminaire, because you can't go wrong.
Yes.
Selling a lot of those Luminaires.
We are. Just come in and buy one.
Okay, now when he hits set now, it actually is going to translate it to stitches, and it's
Yep.
going to go over to Embroidery Land.
Yes.
Okay, so look at that. But that's not what we need. That's not all we need.
We need to add the
We need to add
we need the placement stitch.
placement stitch.
Now, because we didn't save the placement stitch,
Yes,
or
we
did?
did.
Oh, I thought we didn't. Oh, I guess we did. Okay.
We saved it in the design center, which is where you're going to get it.
Yeah, well, it's right here too.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. There we go.
Okay, but now, yeah, you'll want to change the order of these, obviously.
Yes,
They're not in the correct order. But they're, and get that higher, bigger. Go big or go home. There you go.
Okay, so
there's this placement stitch, and this is the satin stitch, and you literally can use the alignment tools to line these up, or what you see is what you get. See how the satin stops prematurely at the bottom and the top? Now go get the flower, Brent,
Okay.
for giggles. We have now made, I don't think we
we
satin
didn't
stitched
do
the
the satin
flower,
stitch on the
but
flower
this will
yet.
show you the placement stitch. We're building and building. And
so
then
then we're just going to line that up.
you just put it, you either rotate it, stick it in where you want it, like that. You cover the satin stitches a
A
little.
little bit, yeah. Well, this is going to have a satin on it, yeah.
I like to go,
Well, that's going to have a satin stitch around
oh, that's
it.
true too. That's true too.
And then to change the order. Well, let
I
me change
don't
the
know
order.
that you can do it on that screen.
Yeah, wait, I can't, yeah.
I'll show it next week.
Yeah, and that's one on the Dream Machine. You do want to bring them in the order that
It's
you
a
want.
good idea
Yeah.
to bring them in the order you want. On
Yes.
the Luminaire, we can reorder
Yes.
our stitches.
But on the Dream Machine, you want to bring it in the order that you're going to do it.
Yeah,
And
you want to keep your wits about you.
Yeah.
But now, can you shrink that down so they can see that they've got
And if you mess up the order, you can always just use the forward and back button.
now we have a flower with a stem.
Yeah.
That's fancy.
I mean, we got a ways
mean,
to go,
come
but
on.
you start to see it come together. Yeah.
You start to see where I'm headed on that prairie.
Yeah.
Okay, those are all different shapes.
Yeah.
Every one of them is a component. Pretty cool, huh?
It's pretty awesome.
So that's it for today, but we're going to take this, I'm going to continue with this
Yep.
next week too, because I want to get it all the way to the point where I actually show you the magic of the scan and cut. Whoa!
The magical scan and cut.
The magical scan and cut. We have not used any software at this point,
Yeah.
and we are building components we can use again and again and again and again.
Yay. That was awesome.
All right, so I think I used up all our time. and
Yeah,
then
we
some.
did. Well,
Yeah.
Close enough, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I hope you like the Design Center stuff. If you don't, well, let me know and I'll stop doing it. maybe, but I like
Anyway, I should stop looking at the at the screen because I'm just gonna make faces at myself.
it. Yeah.
Thanks for watching another episode of Shenanigans with Brent and Becky. Join us again next week and like, share, and subscribe and all that stuff. Remember
All that stuff.
all that stuff.
Like, share, and
And
subscribe.
So on and be excellent to each other.
Toodles.